Hey you guys, I'm back with another video. So like I said in my last video, I said that this video was going to be about my crush. His name is going to be Greg. Me and Greg met almost 3 years ago. We met through my sister and it was cool. And then after like a couple of times, like hanging out and talking and everything, we just hit it off. That's how I am. Like, if you first meet me, you'll think that I'm the shy type. I'm not. That's only when I first meet somebody, because I feel as though I don't want to like go all out and like for somebody like I just met. Like, I see as though you meet me, and then if we hit it off and everything, you get to learn more about me. That's how it was. That's how I am with anybody. So what happened was, after a couple of times hanging out and talking, found out that him and my brother were friends. And I was like, okay. So it's like, I don't know about this. So then like weeks go by and I'm like, we talk and talk and talk. And then we started texting. So I'm like, okay. At this point I was scared to give him my number and this and that. So we talking on Messenger. It's like, and then plus I don't give my number out to random people. So even though after he was still kind of like a random person, even though like it was like, hey, I know you type of things and everything, not like, oh, we were cool and everything. So we go and we start texting back and forth. And then I was like, okay. So I have a tendency when I like a guy, like, go all out. I pretty much, me and my sister talk about anything. Any and everything. And like, we used to talk about him 24/7. And what's crazy is because they knew each other first, so they like had this bond, and he calls her mom and everything. So I kind of felt weird about it, but like now I don't really care. But she was messing around. She was like, I'm gonna tell him how you feel. Now I don't like letting people know how I feel, and that I know that's something I have to work on, because I will miss out like I did. I'll get to that. We started talking and it was like, okay. It was like baby steps. So I'm like, okay. So I go and see him like every time I heard his voice, every time I saw him, anytime like I talked about him, anytime somebody talked about him, like I just got this huge smile on my face. So I was like, okay. So after a while I was like, okay. So like when I tell you, between him and another guy, I will tell you a story about him. He gave like the best hug, and he was like, he's tall and husky, so he gives like those like kind of rough but soft hugs. They're like the best hugs ever. But like every time we would see each other, it was like just this big hug and everything. And like if we didn't see each other, we would text each other and be like, where you been and everything. I haven't seen you and everything. It was like it was to the point where people thought we were in a relationship. Now me personally, I wished we were, but you know. So we started getting like really close like a few months after we met. And then it was like it was times where like we would just walk class together. We had the same, not we had a counselor and then we had a guidance counselor, but we had the same counselor. So we used to sit in there and like just chill with her. And shout outs to her. She was like so funny and calm, cool, and collective. But when it was time for business, it was time for business. So after like that, and then like I remember I was out of school because I got sick. I was out of school for like a couple of days. And like he texted me, he was like, "Where you been? You haven't been to school in a few days." And he was like, I told him I was sick. I was like, oh. And then right when I get back to school, when I see, he gave me like the biggest hug ever. Like he would come in the morning, and then like he would like dap his guy friends up and everything, and then like he'll just come over and like just like hug me and everything. It was this one time I didn't think he was gonna do it. He was hanging with his friends, and I called him. I was like, "Come here for a second." And like we were sitting at the table together, and he didn't move until it was time for us to go to class. I was like, "Oh snap! I didn't think he was gonna do that." Okay, so me and my sister talked for a while, and I was like, I don't know if I should do it, because a lot of the times when I tell a dude I like them, they're like, "Oh, I don't see you the same way." Or like if a dude likes me, I'm shocked about it, because don't have a lot of dudes that like me. They either say they like me, and then like if we started talking, or if we did get into a relationship, it was like I felt like they were trying to change me, and I don't stand for that. So it was like, it's weird for me to find out that a dude likes me. But he's hanging and everything, and I was telling my sister, I was like, I so badly want to tell him how I feel, but because I have been rejected so many times, when I say so many times, I mean so many times, I was like, I don't feel like getting rejected again. So I'm like, okay, whatever. She was like, we get to school one day, and she was like, "You know what? I'm tired of you saying that, talking about him and saying you want to let him know how you feel, but you don't. So I'm going to tell him." And I was like, I was trying to stop her. She pulled away from me, and she gets to him. I'm like, oh my God, what is she doing? So I see them talking, and then I just see both of them look at me, and I'm like, and then I just turn around and sit down at the table I was at, and I was acting like I was talking to somebody, and then I started talking to them for real, and then I was like, because they also knew how I felt about him, and then I was like, pretty much telling them what was going on, and it was like, they was laughing at me. I was like, okay, don't need to laugh at me. So my sister, I look up again. I saw them glance over at me, like, cause they were like this was the table, and they was like right here, if you can like, so they were standing behind this table, and I was like, I can see you guys, and they were like this, so I was like, okay. So she walks back over to me, and she starts laughing, but then she has this serious face, and I'm like, I knew it. I was like, I knew it. He thinks it's funny, and he doesn't see me the same way. Da 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 da. So she gets back over, and she says, "Well, he knows now." I was like, "Yeah, thanks a lot." He said he wishes that you had come to him sooner, because he literally, before I walked up, just got into a relationship. I was like, "You're kidding, right?" She was like, "No." And then I could tell when my sister is playing around and when she's not, and she had that serious face. I was like, I just screwed up. So because I waited so long. I basically put myself in the friend zone. So sucks to be me. And I'ma mention this in the story about the other dude, but I was like, I don't care anyway. Personally, I am not a homewrecker. I was like, just because he's in a relationship doesn't mean I still can't like him. So, it got to the point where my mom met him, and my mom was like, oh, he's nice and everything. Met him a couple of times because I wasn't a bad kid at school, but like, it was this one lady. I'll tell you a story about her too. It was this one lady. It's with this one lady at my school. I feel as though she's like, at times I feel as though she's racist. I didn't do anything because I'm black. She's white, by the way. So it's like, so we go, and I was like, oh wow. And he texted me. He was like, wow, why couldn't you come tell me yourself and this and that? And I was like, that was like in the beginning. And then like after that, it felt like we got distant. But it was still those hey, and we would like have small talk and everything. But that'll be it. Sorry, I keep looking away. I get distracted easily. That's why I have this marker in my hand. So we started talking. I was like, oh, okay. So like me being nice, get to like earlier this year. Me being nice, I told my sister, and I told him and the other dude, I was gonna get them graduation gifts, right? I was just gonna get them gifts for graduation. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, I know, like, both of these dudes' personality is completely different. I'm like, oh, okay. So, go back. I was like, I write about a lot of the things that I think about, and I wrote him this letter. I wrote it after like our first year of knowing each other. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not gonna give it to him. Like, there's no point. I just wrote it to be writing it to like some way tell somebody, like, you know when like you get told something, you're like, you can't tell nobody, but like it's like you need to tell somebody. So like when it gets like that, I just write. And if anybody that knows me knows that like when it comes to school and everything, I hate writing, and I hate reading too. Well, I hate reading because I'm very bad at it. I'm dyslexic, by the way. So like it's a very hard struggle. So back to the last saying, I wrote a letter, and a few months ago we moved. This year we moved like 3 times. When we moved to our second house, like I was unpacking everything and I found it. I was like, oh my god. And as I was reading it, I was like pretty much laughing at myself. And me and my sister was sharing a room at the time. And she was like, what's so funny? And I was like, you won't believe what I just found. She was like, what? It's like, I told her that I wrote this letter and she was like, let me see it. I wouldn't give it to her. And then we started like basically fighting, and then she finally got it and she read it. She was like, oh, that's so cute, you should give it to him for graduation. I'm like, I'll think about it, knowing that I really wasn't gonna do it. But after a while and everything, it's like, okay. So it's like, oh, I don't know about this one, but I was like, okay. Then I lost it again while we was moving. So I was like, you know what? I'ma just had another one. So I ended up writing and everything. And I wrote this like long letter, and I was like, I was reading it, and I was like, wow, like the way, and it's crazy because I like everybody likes people and everything, but like I have never ever done this like about a guy. So after writing this stuff, I got him stuff for graduation, and then like a week before like they had like I used to all like when I say in school we used to always be with each other, but they seniors, he's a senior, well he was a senior, he's a freshman in college now. The seniors get out like a week before the rest of the school. So they had just got their like yearbooks and their cap and gowns and everything. It was like, oh. So like 2 or 3 days before that, like, he didn't come to school for like 2 days. And I was like, oh, I texted him, I was like, he was like, are you at school? No, I'm at home, and this and that. I was like, oh, I didn't get like the best hug in the world today. He was like, I'm sorry. And then he'll be like, hug you through, I forgot what he said. He would say stuff. He was like, oh. So then it got to a point where like, I would text him, and like, he wouldn't text back, and I was like, oh. See, and then he'll text me back hours later. And he'll be like, I was either at the doctor's or I was working. I was like, oh, okay. But it was, and because I talked about him so much, my little brother and sister like make fun of me about it. So, I see him again before he leaves, like their last day. This was literally like their last day at the school. It's like being an actual student. And I was like, I saw him, like, I was walking down the hallway and he was walking, like, I'm walking this way and he's walking this way. I was like, oh, and like I hugged him, and I'm a plus size girl. He's like, what, a few, okay, I'm like 5'4", 5'5", and like I think he's up like 6 something, and like he's kind of built, but like this dude like literally picks me up, and it kind of scares me sometimes when the dude can pick me up, because I don't really like being picked up, but like it's like it was like one of those hugs, like, and his guy friends was with him, and it was like, oh, like I hugged him, like it was tight, and it was like for a few minutes, and his friends was like, I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, I miss you and everything. It's like, yeah. He was like, where you been? I was like, here. I was like, you the one that's like, you haven't been here for a few days. So we go, like, he was like, here, sign this, and I signed his yearbook. I was like, I made it short and simple because like if I really wanted to put what I wanted to put in his yearbook, I would need like a page and a half. So that's why I wrote that, the letter. So after writing the letter, I'm like, okay. So I was like, I got your stuff for graduation. So I was like, I remember him telling me like what his favorite candy and stuff was, but I was like, just like to make sure. So I go, and then like 2 days after, I go and finish getting his stuff for graduation. So I'm like, okay. My sister was like, wow, you've never done this for anybody. This is crazy. I was like, I was telling you that. So my dad got me a new phone, right? So it's like, okay. So then I officially gave him my number. or my new one. So, like, and see, a reason I feel as though, like, I'll tell you, like, I found out that he feels the same way, but I feel as though because everybody in the house knows I like this dude, but I feel as though, even though, like, out of the respect, I understand out of the respect that his girlfriend, he's not gonna be talking to another girl, but also the fact that, okay, we both know that we like each other, but I find it weird that I always have to text you first, and then you're texting me back, like, you'll text me back, like, you text back quick, but then after a while, it's like, I'm pushing for a conversation. I don't want to have to push for a conversation. I feel as though you should also text me at, like, times too, and I'm not always texting you or calling you. So I'm like, okay. So I understand out of the respect of your girlfriend, but hello? It's like, okay. So we start talking and everything, and it gets to grad, and, like, I text him, like, the day before graduation, and I was like, and, like, I've been telling him for, like, weeks up until graduation, and I was like, I'm gonna cry on graduation. He was like, don't cry and everything. I was like, but I'm gonna. So graduation comes. I was in the school choir for graduation, so I got into graduation for free. So I'm like, I was like, I'm not gonna cry. Like, I was like, the day, like, I was trying to mentally prepare myself for it. I was like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. And then, like, our counselor, she was in the choir too, so we're sitting right next to each other, and she was like, she comes upstairs right before we practice, before like everybody comes in. She was like, she was crying. I was like, she basically had the sniffles, and she had, like, a little tear. I was like, you crying already? She was like, yeah, I just came in and I saw them and everything. She was like, I done ugly cried twice and everything. I was like, oh my gosh. So, like, we go and, like, we're getting ready and everything, and, like, I was like, I already know, because, like, my sister, like, me first coming down here, like, my sister was, like, between my sister and my brother, they were the only thing I had at that school, and the only people I knew at that school. And then after a while, like, my brother pretty much kicked me to the curb, so it was just me. But I always had my sister, and now she's leaving. So yeah, I knew I was gonna cry. Let's get some tissues and everything. And as they're walking in it and everything, I start crying. I'm like, oh God, clear yourself up and everything. So it's like the speech by the principal, which our principal is, like, so boring. Like, I found out after that my sister's uncle and my little sister fell asleep. I was like, I had a problem there. But they get, like, my sister's name get called up. I'm, like, crying, I'm screaming, and I'm like, I see him, I'm crying. I'm like, oh God. So after graduation, like, I'm looking for him, and, like, I have this big, like, bag, and I still kind of have it. We're meeting up so I can give it to him, but, like, this big bag full of, like, stuff for him. And my little brother had one job, because I couldn't take it to school, and, like, because it had, like, balloons on it and everything, we weren't allowed to bring that stuff to the into the place. So I was like, okay. I told my little brother, you saw him before in, like, one of my videos, I told him to just bring the bag with him. What did this little boy forget? The bag. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. So I'm like, after graduation, I'm just boo-hooing. And it was like tears of joy, but also tears, just like sad tears. I had mixed emotions. I was happy that they were, like, starting a new chapter, but I was sad that I wasn't going to play. But yeah. So after graduation, I'm like, I see everybody else I see my girls and everything, my dudes. Like, I'm gonna mention him in this video. Like, I, like, he was valedictorian. Shout out to Gregory Jones. Like, he was valedictorian. He, like, fought for everything. And he was, like, pretty much, he was, like, the popular dude. Everybody knew him. But, like, he graduated and everything. He was like, why y'all crying? He was like, he was like, y'all about to make me cry because I don't do well with emotions and everything. I was like, oh. So I see everybody else, but I can't find him at all. And my mom, I was like, Ma, I can't find him. Like, I'm boo-hooing. She was like, oh my gosh, hold on, let's find him. Da 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 da. So I'm like, Ma, so like, where the doors were, we came out, like, we were on one edge and like we didn't see him. So we like go towards the middle. Like, I'm wearing heels and everything. I took them off. I gave them to my little sister. At this point, like, I didn't have my flash with me, so I was like pretty much, I was walking barefoot. I'm like standing on my tippy toes. Like, of course I know what this dude looks like. He's my crush. I know. What? So I don't see him at all, and I'm like, Ma, I'm crying. I was like, Ma, I didn't get to say goodbye and da da da. So then I see him, and I'm like, I'm calling him, like, my voice is messed up now, and then he, like, I see him, like, he keeps turning around, but it was like, you know, like, when you hear your name get called and you turn around, you can't see who it was. So I'm screaming like, Greg. So he finally sees me calling him. So like I run up and give him a big hug, and I start crying. Like, I don't even know why I decided to wear makeup that day, because it was all over the place. Kind of got it on his thing. Like, I forgot. I don't know what the thing is called. Like, yeah, like it's like the robe and then the thing that you put over right there. I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but I got makeup on that. I was crying. He was like, "Don't cry." I was like, "I'm gonna miss you." He was like, "I'm gonna miss you too. Don't cry." He was like, "You're gonna make me cry," and everything. Like, I just gave him a big hug. We just stood there for like at least like 5-10 minutes hugging, and I'm crying. My mom was like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was ugly crying, not one of those cute cries. No, I was boo-hooing. I was ugly crying. So my mom was like, let me get a picture. So she takes a picture. She was like, you can't be ugly crying. So I'm trying to fix myself up. This chick took a picture of us with like me pretty much ugly crying. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So like, I can't stop crying at this point. He was like, text me, and then like, da da da. I think I'm gonna miss you. So I just gave him this hug, and then he leaves. And I was like, my mom was like, you're a hot mess. I was like, I know. Then we go and everything. So get to graduation. After graduation, we're in the car and everything, and I'm like, okay, the whole thing, because my brother left everything like at the house. It's like, you know what, I wrote it in my phone and I screenshot it because after I wrote it, I sent it to my sister. After I wrote it, I had first, like, because I take the bus to school, I started writing the letter on the bus, and that was like around like 7 o'clock. I had breaks in between, but I didn't finish it until like 10, 15, 10, 20. And like, it was long, so I screenshot it because my sister wasn't at school. Like, I sent it to her, and she was like, "Oh, it's so cute. I'm about to cry and everything." I was like, I shed a little tears and everything, but I don't want to like go all in because I'm about to be crying in class in front of other kids. Mind you, we wasn't doing nothing but watching movies. I was like, let me just finish it. So I was like, I told her, I was like, look, and like, I was like, I sent it to him. You know what he said? Aw. I'm like, okay. And it reminded me of this meme I saw, and it was like when you send your crush a text about how you feel, and they text you back like what you mean. Wow. I was like, I don't know how to take this, but okay. So we're texting back and forth. So then she shows me this. She was like, I gotta show you something. I'm like, okay, what? So apparently a few days before and everything, he was home and everything. I was texting him. She took my phone. I ran to go get something. My phone was unlocked. Stupid. She texted him and was like, oh, she was letting him know it was her, and then she was like, oh, I didn't, she basically said that I was going all out for a dude, and that like she thought I had a crush on him and everything, knowing that I do and everything, and was like, if she do you feel the same way and all this. He was like, yeah, but I got a girlfriend. And she was like, she used emojis a lot though. So he was like, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, what? So she was like, in the text it was like, should I tell her or keep it to myself? And he was like, I think she know. I didn't know that, by the way. Because if it was like that, it would be a whole new ball game. So, after all of that, like, I'm like, okay. So, going back, like, me and her had set, like, goals that, like, we wanted to finish this year's. Our goals, I know, like, I finally accomplished, like, no, I finally accomplished my last goal on my list. It's like, I was happy and everything. And then, like, a few days later, I was talking to my dad, and he was like, you got a boyfriend? I was like, no. And I was cutting watermelon for my siblings. So he was on speaker. And then just scream out, yes, she do. And then she said, they was like screaming his name and everything. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, no, we're just friends. So then, after me and my dad get off the phone, I come upstairs. Like, I tell my mom what they said, and she starts laughing. So this goes on for like a good like 20-30 minutes. So I was like, I texted him and told him, and he was like, LOL. And I was like, so then I called him and I was like, I want you to hear this for yourself, so you don't think I'm crazy. So they're going and everything. My brother starts asking him personal questions and all this. I was like, after the guy was on, I was like, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, my siblings are crazy. But that's the end of my story. That was pretty much it. I will update you guys if anything happens. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will give this video a thumbs up. Can you please at least get it to like maybe 10, 20 thumbs ups? Please subscribe. Comment down below what I should do next for a video. Peace.